Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to Perspective as a Motherfucker. I am your host, Aaron Streater. I got a hell of a show for you guys tonight. I have a guest with me, not only a Jacksonville native, but a hell of a comedian on the rise. Welcome, MikeyB, to the podcast.
What up? I'm grinding my dick off. How y'all doing?
So how you been, brother?
Chilling, dude. I've been good. I've been just trying to push through comedy, dude. That's all it is just trying to go to more mics, trying to get onto more shows and all that. Yeah.
Okay, so how is the comedy scene here? Because, I mean, we met probably almost a year ago.
We met a year ago at a wannabe nightclub. Dude, that place was...
is it better?
No. No, the comedy night got closed down, dude. I mean, when you're playing to 3 people in a nightclub, yeah, dude, the owner's not going to be cool about that.
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
Yeah, and then all the comics are like, oh no, water for me. I want to make sure I'm like sharp on stage. It's like, sharp for who? Like, so then he was losing money. It was like, oh, fuck.
Okay, that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, so just kind of doing my thing with comedy and creating Instagram reels and shit. And, you know, I don't know, dude. The algorithm's trying to fuck me.
Okay, I mean, the algorithms... You gotta play the algorithm. It's kind of hard to kind of figure that out. The one thing I will say about even Instagram or even TikTok, I mean, I like TikTok because you get a lot of organic growth.
Yeah.
So it's one of the things where Reels it kind of mirrors TikTok as far as on the organic side, because even I'm looking to build my my Instagram following and stuff like that, which sometimes it give me hard if you're not pretty.
It's mad hard to create a following in general, dude, because they don't know you. So like if I started doing a character it's called Is It Gay?
Okay.
And it's literally just like stupid premises. Like, is it gay to hug your homie? It's like, is it gay to watch hentai? Like, it's like, if it was drawn by a man, yes, it is. Like, just stupid shit like that. But, like, for my friends, they're all like, oh, Mikey, because, like, really, like, I'm not gay, but I don't care. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, I don't know, I'll sell you a home that has an open floor plan. Like, I'll fuck around on the other side. But that's the thing is, like, to other people who don't know me, they're like, this douchebag. And what I'm about to say next is not going to help me in this case, is the fact that, like, so for the algorithm, I actually tried something that's kind of fucked up. I posted a video. It got like 150 views in like 3 hours. And I was like, this is bullshit. Like, just like mad. And then like, I was like, you know what? Let's try some shit. I didn't have my pronouns in my bio at the time.
Oh.
Dropped my pronouns in there. Got to 4K. And I was like, no way, dude. It's real. It's real. Like, and then I was like, Daddy Trump, you were right. They're censoring us white boys. Like, fucking. Oh my God.
So, you're from Jacksonville originally, right?
Jersey originally. Actually.
Okay, what part?
Yeah, East Brunswick.
Okay, from Williamstown.
Hell yeah, dude. Yeah.
So what brought you out here?
I moved down here when I was like 8.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like my dad, he worked for Chase, and then they just were like, hey, you're gonna move to Jacksonville. And he was like, yeah, I guess. And so then I moved here when I was 8. Stayed here, went to Florida State instead of Auburn because I chased a girl and then broke up with her 2 months after I got there. So what the fuck was the point of that? It was fine. I mean, I'm glad that I went to Florida State instead of Auburn, because Auburn, I would have been sheltered. Like, dude, Tallahassee, within the first week, a homeless man tried to, like, molest me. And I was like, okay. God. And then I was like, oh, I'm not sheltered anymore. Like, fucking unpuckered my ass right quick, dude.
Wow. It's funny. I was a military, like a contractor on a Maxwell Air Force Base.
Oh, sure.
And gunner in Montgomery, Alabama, like 10 years ago, in my earlier 20s. So, I was just chasing a job. So I used to do like windshield repair, like at contracted gas stations, oil change garage.
Oh,
they got a big chain. They got a big contract with all the military bases across the country.
Yeah.
Of course, that kind of went down, but it was and that was my first introduction to the South.
I got
So like, I didn't understand, like, it's like you're Alabama or Auburn. It's that basically it's you're Florida or Florida State here.
Yeah.
Which I was like,
so
we're not concerned with like, we watch college up north, but it's not, and I didn't understand that where it's like, they pick that shit when they're born, and then it's like,
Yeah, because down south too, you got to experience like true bread and butter racism. Fucking the full on, not even like the North where, you know, I don't even know how the North is with racism, but I know the South is very, Dave Chappelle has a great bit about it where it's just out in the open, people are shitty and you're like, oh fuck, I guess that's how it is.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of the things where when you experience like racism and you're like, you have people like, all right, was that racist? Or am I just tripping? And it's one of the things where if you have like, you know, friends and things like that that aren't, you know, that don't look like you, it's one of those things where they gotta see it. Yeah. And it's just one of those things where like, this is not back in the day.
Yeah.
They show you who you really are. They're fucking their money up. They're fucking their entire lives up. So like, what I don't like about, I would say like, you know, the sensitivity is like, people are just not going to stop being racist by me calling them a piece of shit and say stop being racist.
Yeah.
I'm just going to find more covert ways to be racist. It's the same thing with I don't understand where people like, you're a racist piece of shit. I'm like, all right, they're just going to circle jerk each other and, you know, be racist in a circle. That's not, it is. I mean, at this point in my life, I'm 30. I mean, I've had like actual experiences where, you know, I've had certain situations happen to me where, you know, I don't care if somebody is racist. Just don't impede me. Don't be in my way, personally.
That's an interesting statement. You're like, yeah, say boy, but also hold the door open for me. Like you're like that's interesting.
It's just like, I'm, you know, like these, which I mean, you're 25, so you're like closer to my generation, but some of these people, man, especially when it's on social media, I'm like, you've like, if you think like words are violence, I'm sorry, I'd rather take words than actual violence.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Like, that's not, again, like,
no, yeah, we're softies, dog. Like for sure. Like, for one, by the way, thank you for your service on like the military side of it, because you were a service member. No. Dude, I was damn, you're harder than I will ever be, dude.
So I had a couple of chances to go in. When I was 17, I was gonna go in. Like, I graduated 2009.
Okay.
So like, my birthday's September 4th, so I turned 17 into my senior year.
Oh, okay, I got
and you. I told my family, like, why are you going to go? Because I want to fucking travel. I've been wanting to travel my entire fucking life.
Yeah.
They're like, no. So I put those fucking things on hold. Things happen over the last 2 years. I go in 19. I had asthma, but I didn't have it anymore. And if you ever went to MEPS, I went to fucking MEPS and shit, and there was a couple people from my school that end up going. It's one of the things where it's like, I can't tell you as recruiter not to say you have certain things, but
please, dude.
Yeah. So I said, well, I had asthma, whatever. This. A couple years later, I'm on a military base for like the next like 2 years. I'm getting recruited left and right. They're like, yeah, you could do this, you could do that. You know, all these different things. So if I would have went in the military at 19 or whatever else, I probably would have been in. I got people that I know that went in, they did the little 2 years out of high school, went in, got the whole kids shebang, all that type of things.
Yeah.
I know people that have been
divorced
10 years.
by 22, you're just like, damn.
That's scary to me.
Yeah.
But it's one of the things where I'm like, I don't know. To each his own. Some of them been in there for 10 years now, and they're like, I'm halfway through.
Yeah. Yikes.
I hear so many people, well, the military wasn't like, you know, how it was when it came in. So a lot of people, they're getting out. They're fighting the mask mandates and all this shit where it's like, which I've seen people where it's like, you know how many fucking shots you get? You're the property of the United States government, and you're gonna fucking fight the COVID vaccine? Get the fuck out.
Yeah. You have no idea, dude.
You know how many fucking shots? They're like, I don't know what the fuck is in it. I had to get it.
Yeah, you want me to open your beer?
Yeah.
Let's do it up.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, son. Let's do it.
Yeah, so what got you into comedy? Because, I mean, did you do comedy in at Florida State?
No, I didn't do it at Florida State. No,
Okay.
I waited until I actually had a job, and then I was like, oh, shit, this sucks. Like,
Smart.
yeah. Well, I wanted to be a musician originally.
Okay.
And then I'd sing hella flat. So then I was like, well, all right, that's gone. So
Okay.
then I just figured, like, hey, I have this homeless joke. I mean, fuck it. Why don't I see where this goes? And
Okay.
so then I did like 5 minutes in like 2019. And then after that, I was just like,
You were
okay,
hooked.
yeah, 100%. It's the world's saddest addiction, because even with like heroin or like whoever, like whatever drug you're addicted to, there's like a certain celebration once you're through it. Like, you know what I mean? Like people are like, oh my God, they quit heroin. But I guarantee you, if I'm like 30 and I quit comedy, they would just be like, you fucking wasted 10 years, son. Like, they would have no sympathy about it.
Yeah.
Like, they're just like, damn, you stood up there and got, like, your dick fed to you, like, 8 times out of the week. and then it's like, oh, what, but that wasn't your chance to quit. Instead, you stuck on. What, why? Like, you know?
There's a lot of people where, I mean, there's a lot of people that come from fucking Podunk or wherever the fuck, and they're like, I'm gonna go to New York.
Yeah, dude, no. Like, I mean, I would love to go to New York.
Which
but
it's, you know, I've seen the grind and shit like that where, you know, people like, you know, you can go over to Jersey and then make that commute, or you can go and really live in a fucking cardboard box.
Yeah.
For $1,100 a month.
Yeah, there's a comfortable bench in the subway that you could use up and then go in. Dude, fuck that. And you have to pay. Apparently you have to pay to get on mics in New York, which is the wildest shit in the world to me. Because
that I'm not.
I already get my dick stomped. I don't want to pay to get my dick stomped, dude. Like, fuck that.
If you could compare yourself to, like, your style of comedy, are you more of storytelling, or are you more of just, like, punchlines? Like, what's your type of comedy?
I guess storytelling and kind of, like, absurd shit.
Okay.
Like, I like the idea of talking about something kind of crazy.
Okay.
Like, one of the bits that I'm still trying to tool and can't figure it out right is just saying, all right, what's the best solution to world hunger, obesity, and overpopulation? It's cannibalism. That's the easiest way to do it, dude. That's all you gotta do. You just gotta, like, you give the fatties, like, 3 months, and I'm included, by the way. My whole thing is, like, there's a metric, 30% BMI. You gotta be under that, which I'm, like, 34 or 35%, and every 3 months you gotta drop at least 1%. Yeah. And, like, if you don't care, fuck it. We'll subsidize your flights. You can go to Venice, whatever, enjoy yourself. But then when you come back, you're on the chopping block, dude. Yeah. You're going to be served to a Japanese businessman. Like, you're just like, oh, what is your best slice of Persian? That's like, all right, we got a fucking, you know. So I like that kind of shit. And then I also tell stories about how I accidentally hit on a gay bodybuilder and then he tried to pursue me. So, like, wow. Yeah, dude, that was, yeah. So,
wait, how does accidentally? How did that?
So I was asleep. I woke up because I knew the dude through like a job. Like I was like a busboy. Okay. And then he was like, "You go to LA Fitness? I'll go to LA Fitness. Let's get you bulked." And I was like, "Hell yeah!" So then it's like 11 a.m. He calls me, and I was still asleep, and I was like, "Oh shit!" So then I was like, "Hey man, I'll meet you there in like 30 minutes." He was like, "All right, cool. See you soon." And then I meant to say, "See you soon, bro," but I stuttered and I went, "See you soon, boo, bruh," and then I hung up the phone. And then for the next 30 minutes, he kept trying to like drop hints. Like he was like, "Yeah, I used to work at a gay bar in New York for bikers." And in my head, I was like, wow, he's so open about his own straightness that he would like be at a gay bar as a server, not realizing like, no, dude, this guy's trying to raw me. Like, so that was weird. It was, yeah. All right. Yeah, dude, he ended that whole thing trying to get me to go on a date with him. by going like, you want to get lunch? And that's when it clicked.
Okay.
Where it's like, cause you don't go to the gym and then immediately after it's like, yo, you want to get a bread bowl? Like, you know what I mean? I was like, that's not how this works. So then I clicked and he was like, to Olive Garden. And I was like, what the fuck? No, I'm good, man. And then he got pissed and he was like, why don't you want to go? And I was like, I'm not hungry. I don't know. Like, and then a week later he saw me at the gym and he was like, by the way, the gift card I was going to use wasn't for Olive Garden. It was for Maggiano's. So, and then he walked away like he had taught me. Like, I was like, I'm not a whore. Like, I wouldn't have cared. Like,
wow.
Yeah, dude.
Wow, that's kind of crazy.
Yeah, it was fun. It was fun. Good guy. Good guy. Strong mustache.
Strong.
Gays can rock a mustache, dude.
So one of those like porno mustaches,
dude. Oh yeah. No. It was thick. Like if I was like borderline bi, I would have still done it. Like, you know what I mean? But like, you know, instead I'm just Metro, I guess. I don't know. Ripped jeans, but then also Adidas and kind of linty looking shirt. I'm not close enough to gay to where I could understand fashion. You know.
I think the funniest thing is like, this was probably almost 10 years ago when that whole metrosexual phrase was, where it's just like, no, these were just guys that were just taking care of themselves.
Yeah.
And they made a whole sexual identity out of that shit.
Dude. Yeah.
It's like, no, I just, I used to see videos about, like, girls used to, like, actually call it, it's like, yeah, like, you're clean, and you're like, no, I'm just fucking a clean fucking person. You deal with dirty motherfuckers a lot.
Yeah, it's like,
oh my God.
No, some girls in high school would be like, God, you smell so good. Everybody else smells bad. And I was like, I spray one thing of cologne on me. Yeah. And like, that's enough. Like, that's the line for you. And then I realized it clicked years later. Well, one of my friends, he was like a sports guy. Like, you would do 3 different sports, bulky motherfucker.
Yeah, motherfuckers were using, like...
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Axe in the air. Yeah. Like, I'm so glad. I don't think they use axe anymore, but when I was, like, doing sports or gym or things like that, which I hated that shit. You go, you get fucking sweaty. It's not bad if it's the end of the day. But you fucking, like... when I was a senior, you either had first period gym or last period gym. Yep. I had first period gym. Yeah. So I'm fucking dirty for the whole fucking day. Yeah. It shit sucks.
Yeah, especially if you go all out, dude. Like, then, ew. Just the mix of sweat and chocolate axe.
Yes!
Like, it's just like, damn, dude. Yeah.
Like, Axe companies sold so much money back then.
Yeah, I had one dude. I used to make fun of him. I was like, dude, you smell gross. And then he was like, no, dude, sweat and chocolate axe, dude. I'm salty sweet. And like, that was like his line. I was like, nah, dude, your balls are disgusting. Like, you need to wash yourself. Like,
nah. So there was a guy that, I used to work with when I was on the base, and I don't know, he was a suave motherfucker in Detroit, older guy, whatever, painted his fucking toenails and shit. Fucking mess with this girl that had a fucking one of those gastro bypass joint. He ended up getting with this fucking Asian girl, and I'm talking about, this is the first time I experienced like southern heat.
Yeah.
When I tell you wearing like fucking like shit like this, or fucking pants and sweating your balls off, he had fucking powder on there, right? He tells me this time, he's like, yeah, like, she just wanted to kind of go down. Bitch almost choked. I felt bad. And it's one of those things where I just looked at her, she was a badass Asian. I was just like,
why would you want Gold Bond dingleberries? What are you doing, dude? Like, oh, gross. Yeah, dude, she sucked him and then she sneezed white powder.
It was, she almost fucking choked.
You imagine getting cotton mouth and everyone's like, what, are you high? It's like, nah.
Nah. As far as with everything that's been going on, especially comedy-wise, is comedy starting to go back to where it was, or do you think it's leaning a lot more into the words have feelings type of thing?
Oh, that's a better question for somebody who has more years on their belt, if I'm being honest. Because, like, comedy, how it was, like, I started right before the pandemic hit.
Oh.
And so, like, I didn't have, like, a hand on the pulse beforehand. I just know post-COVID.
Okay.
But as far as, like, sensitivity is concerned, really nobody gives a shit until they get home. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, they'll have fun, but then they sit on it and they're like, but what did he mean when he said that? And you're just like, I don't know, dude. I panicked and attacked the crowd and then used the stereotype. Yeah. I don't know what I'm doing. It's just
like,
here.
First of all, like, you laughed at the shit. I don't have buyer's remorse.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
Fuck you. Don't have buyer's remorse and be like, I shouldn't have laughed at that. The shit was funny. That's why you laughed at it in the fucking first place. Today, like, the messenger and the message have to be palatable. When I was growing up, you didn't have to like me.
Yeah.
But
I got you.
If you respected my message, then that made sense.
Mm-hmm.
And it's very annoying where it's just people are idiots and they're easily manipulated.
Yes. Yeah.
And
it's easier when we were inside for like a year. And so like everybody.
We weren't really inside.
Yeah, I mean, Florida wasn't inside.
Florida wasn't inside.
Not inside.
I think the funniest thing was, like, because I was still heavily in the firm. So, life insurance, company. Yeah. And we were going to have this, one of our annual, weekly meetings on St. Patty's Day, on 2020. They're like, yeah, until further notice, things like that. Because, the CEO ended up moving the headquarters to Texas just for taxes and different things like that. And then it went from a week to a month and things like that. And then nobody was wearing masks, birdies in different places like that. They went to, curbside just to kind of stay in business. And even, I used to do a lot of printing for my other business over at Office Max. And in September of that year, which was 6 months later, as of right now, we're requiring masks. I haven't worn a mask for 6 months. Yeah. Fuck am I wearing a mask for?
What are we talking about here, dude? Yeah.
Shit was crazy.
Mm-hmm.
For you, with your life experience and everything that, you're doing, what is our perspective? What's one thing you could tell your younger self that would have caused you a lot less pain and drama? With what you're doing right now and, where you've, kind of grown and developed, if you could tell your younger self anything that could have caused you less drama and pain, what would that be?
I don't know. Don't be a pussy. like fucking actually talk the way, because I feel like I'm heavily a people pleaser. Dude. And as a comic, that needs to get shredded.
I mean, one of my biggest comics that I watch is Andrew Schultz, where it's as far as he's talked about comics as a whole, it's you're going for the laugh.
Yeah, exactly.
That's to fill that void.
Yeah, yes, exactly. And you should give a fuck in a certain way, but don't fucking overthink and try and make.
Don't pander.
Yeah, exactly. Like that's the worst thing. Is just I'm a people pleaser and trying to get people to laugh now, which is fine to me. Yeah. But being a people pleaser in where I'm compromising what I actually think is right in the moment to appease all the sides, so that way we avoid like a weird confrontation. Yeah. That's the shit that I used to do and still kind of do. I'm strangely political in that for some reason. Okay. Whereas I wish that as a younger person I could have steered away from that shit. Yeah. And it would have made me less friends, but at the same time it's why be friends with those dorks, dude? Fuck it.
I mean, why are you being friends with people that don't even have their own opinions? Yeah. Those are opinions
or opinions that you don't agree with.
Exactly. They're just regurgitated, and whether you're on the right or the left, I'm not a political person. I don't believe none of you motherfuckers, to be honest with you. I don't. Yeah. Where it's I'm a very do you want to help or you don't. If you don't want to help, get the fuck out the way.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's, like, even as far as, like, I was talking with a buddy of mine a while back to where, as far as politics goes, where you have people that have these good intentions, but a lot of the times they don't have the capital, and they get plucked from some podunk town somewhere because they have good intentions.
Yeah.
And then they start to kind of get on the roll, and then slowly but surely, someone gets their claws in them. Yeah. Where it's, you know, oh, well, you need this donation money. It's like, yeah. You need this. Where I realize there's a lot of, but at the same time, you have people that have the money, but they run independent. Yep. And it's something to where people are so stupid. I'm sorry to say this. You're stupid if you don't look in the middle. If you just look into red or blue or conservative or liberal or Democrat and Republican. You don't look into the independent.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So
I've assaulted too many audiences verbally. Last night I did that shit. Dude, the problem is like when you start bombing like at a mic, like you'll turn on the crowd, like because you want it to be anybody's fucking fault but your own, but then like it's literally like know it's your own fault, and then I just like look at a chick and I'm like, what are you drinking? White wine at a dive bar? What are you, fucking dumb? Stupid bitch? Yeah, nice jersey, fucking trash. Like, and then like I'm just like, anybody else? You guys relate? You guys think this is funny? These people haven't gotten hit at shows, which is like why I do comedy. Because I haven't gotten hit yet. So I'm still like, I say,
you never hit before?
No, dude. I say whack shit and haven't had a repercussion yet. And like a little part of me, I'm like, it's coming. So I'm gonna say the one thing to the one chick about depression, and then I'm gonna get whacked, and I'm gonna be like, yeah, shit, maybe I should have held back on that one. That's fair.
So what? Okay, so when you're, how do you know when you're bombing?
Oh, dude, it is so apparent. I mean, shit, dude, you know when you're bombing, because a joke can bomb, that's fine, but like, you know it bombs when there's just no laughter. But like when you're like talking and like trying to get everybody engaged, and then you say the one thing, like the punchline, and then it's just quiet, yeah, that's you're bombing. Okay. Like, you know what I mean? So, like, I'll be like, yeah, you guys know fucking, I might be fratty, but, you know, HPV. And then there's silence, and you're just like, oh, okay, good. I suck. Like, that's, I don't know.
How long have you been in comedy for, though?
2.5 years.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, so you're still young. You're still... Yeah. Okay, so you're a baby, so, like, it's not like you...
Kinda, but, like, you know, like, when kids, are kids, I guess, they always want to be like, I want to be treated like I'm older, but, like, so that's, like, my own thing with, like, being 2.5 years in. I'm like, I want to be as good as, like, if I was, like, 5 or 10 years in. But, yeah.
All right, so, what have you learned just as far as, you know, kind of going through the trenches? Because it seems like you're kind of just, you know, you're hitting, you know, the ground running. Like, you're not, have you done any, even when, like, COVID, like, have you done any, like, virtual shows or anything like that?
I did 3 virtual shows, and they all sucked ass.
I heard that's, like, especially on Zoom, when, like, Zoom was too, it was just, like...
Dude, they were so cancerous. Like, just, like, as, like... Because, like, you're just talking into a mic, and then it's like, all right, if you're not the performing comic, please mute. But then when you think it's funny, unmute and laugh. And then some people have, like, a fucking 900 ping. So, like, then, like, you tell a joke, then, like, you know, right into the middle of your next punchline, all you hear is, like, a, ha-ha! And then they just, like, cut out again. But then it's, like, one or two people laughing, and then you're just, like, holy shit, like, this is abysmal. Like, it's... Okay. Dude, virtual comedy sucks. Yeah. That's why you turn to skits, is because skits, like, people can enjoy, but if you try and do, like, live stand-up to people virtually... Everybody steps on each other's toes. It's like a fucking phone call. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah. Like when you're just like, and I just ended. Sorry, you were saying, you were. All right, go ahead. Like that. It's that awkward. Like you can't see them, so like they don't even like they'll step on your toes without meaning to. It's just, dude, fuck virtual comedy.
So as of right now, just with where you're at in comedy, is your life what you envisioned all those years ago?
No. God, no.
Okay, so what did you... Okay, so...
I mean, dude, I thought I was going to be a lead singer of some type of band crushing. Like, that's what I thought.
You could sing?
I mean, fucking
like,
kind of. Like,
okay, so like rock or...
Yeah, like Dave Grohl, Nirvana kind of shit. Like, I can do grunge screaming kind of, but like that's like shit like that. Like I love rock. And so I thought that was going to be the future.
Okay, so what,
like Tonight Show Jimmy Fallon talking about like stage laughter on like my story about me in Tahiti with like a lady boy or whatever. I don't know. Like that was like...
Okay, so like what happened? Like why
when you're younger, you're trying. Like you think that you're actually trying when you're really not. Like, I would be like, because, I mean, my sophomore year, I was high every day. I was smoking a shit ton of weed and then eating double quarter pounders with a McChicken stuffed in the middle.
Oh, so McGangbang.
Yeah, McGangbang. So you know the sandwich. Like, yeah. So I was face fucking myself with McGangbangs, going out to, like, bars, like, smoking a shit ton of weed. But then, like, I would pick up the acoustic guitar at once every 2 weeks and I'd be like, I'm going to make it one day. No, the fuck you're not. Like, you are inconsistent. So then, I was just trying to figure myself out. And then, I mean, I don't think it'll ever end up the way you envision, but there's also, just because of that doesn't mean you shouldn't try. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like, I feel like a lot of people, they believe that, I need to have kids and,
bro, fuck
a partner and a fucking house by fucking 25. And I'm like, I thought about that for a while. So let's go and say you graduate high school at 18, right? Mm-hmm. You graduate college on time at 22. That means you're only 3 years into your fucking career. Mm-hmm. And then that means, let's go and say you had the kid at 25. That's not bad. But it's like, no, fuck all that. Like, no. I'm fucking 30. Like, I want to live life.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
happiness to me isn't the same thing as it was when I was like a straight edge high school kid thinking I was gonna raw out the same girl in perpetuity. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's happiness is different for everybody else. There are people that I know that are married and that are going to try for kids that are happy with that. Meanwhile, I'm happy with the idea that I could pick up a nose fix in my late 20s and be at dive bars in New York City doing comedy. To me, that's like, yeah, fuck it.
Yeah. What was the moment for you when you knew that enough was enough and shit needed to change?
Oh, shit. Interesting. Yeah, you know what's funny is I'm like, Mr. Comedian Man, make a joke. And then I'm like, so I was crying a lot my senior year of college. And I was like, that's not normal. That's literally, that's a moment. God bless the chick that I dated my senior year. Porn star tits. She was a goddess of a woman. But like she, so I was going through a lot. Sophomore year, so freshman year of college, I was in a shooting. Like, yeah, and not like I wasn't tossing clips to the guy. Like, you know what I mean? Like I was in the place where that got shot up. Like, right? And I have a bit about that. But fucking, I was in a shooting. Fucked me up more than I thought it would have. But I was rolling. I was like, oh, fuck it. I mean,
how it goes.
I'm out. Whatever. Who cares? So then sophomore year to cope, which again, you never realize you're coping until like way later. So like sophomore year, I cope by smoking weed every single day. Like I would smoke weed, play Mario Party, get drunk as shit, go out to the bars, and then eat McGangbangs. Okay. And then 50 pounds later, I was like, oh shit, this isn't good. Okay. So then I started working out, but I was doing 2-a-days. Like I would run 5 miles and then I would rip it at the gym. So that was like for another year. So for my junior year, I would do all that shit. Then senior year hit and I had studied abroad like the back half of my junior year. So it was like Dude, I was playing with house money. It was the cool, and by house money I mean my dad. But so like, so I fucked around. I sweat out alcohol. It was disgusting, but it was so fun. And I've met the best people that I've met in college, minus a few exceptions, through that, which was awesome. But then I got home. Then senior year, I was like, oh shit, no more study abroad. I don't want to work out anymore because that takes effort, and fuck that shit. And I'm also going to graduate. And again, music wasn't working out. I didn't realize I was going to do comedy. Like, I didn't know. I only had one joke that I had written that I thought was funny, but like, it never like occurred to me to try it. So then I was just kind of going through some shit. And at that same time, this girl, like, I started dating her. She was an amazing girl. I hope she's doing great. But like, I didn't know what my emotions were. So then, poor woman, I'm like getting drunk every day and then like crying, like, do you think my dad loves me? And she's like, what the fuck are you talking? Like, she was like, but she stuck with it for some reason. Like, so then yeah, dude. But so that all happens through senior year. And at a certain point, because I was like, this is crazy. I can't be this. Like, am I actually just insane? Because, like, I was having, like, intrusive thoughts, anxious, the whole shit. And then I was going to therapy. And then my therapist finally pinpointed it. He was like, all right, I got something to tell you. But he left it on voicemail. So, like, it was, like, such a big cliffhanger. He's like, I have something to tell you about what your diagnosis is. Give me a call back. We'll schedule it, and I'll tell you in person. And I was like, tell me now. Am I a crazy person? What the fuck? And then he was like, you have OCD. I was like, oh, what was that? Like, I thought that just means that I clean. Like, I didn't know. And he was like, no, you're like, you obsess over thoughts. And like, if a thought feels wrong or weird, you'll turn it over in your head a billion times, basically asking yourself, do you actually believe that? Do you actually believe that? Do you actually believe that? Like, and so I finally figured that out through him. And at that moment, I was like, okay, shit. Now I have something to attack. This needs to change. And so then I started going to a therapist in Tallahassee for cognitive behavioral therapy, which was the shit. But the time that it really changed, a good friend of mine helped me out like a year later, was I was smoking CBD, which is the funniest shit in the world. You know how there were like a bunch of people for a while where it's like, CBD teas will really help you? Like, no, they fucking won't. Like if you're actually like fucked, like, no, they won't. Like, so I was drinking like fucking pounds of CBD a day and I was like, why aren't I normal? Like, and then my friend talked to me about actually taking meds. And he was like, you know what I mean? Cause like when you hear about medication and you're not taking it, you're like, damn, dog, why don't I just kill myself instead? Like, I was like, why would I do that shit? That sounds lame. But then I started taking I talked to him about it, talked to a bunch of people, and then I finally started my medication, and that shit really helped me. Like, cause when your mind is like so much static, you can't, it's like trying to talk to somebody in the club. Like, the music's so loud, you're barely even thinking about what you guys are saying. But like when you step outside and like it's like quiet enough, there's still a little bit of a ringing in your ear, but you can actually focus on what you're saying. Yeah. That's what it was for me when I started taking my pills. So that is like the moment where things changed, where I actually figured it out. Or like, and then I started doing fucking comedy, and now I'm trying to figure that out because comedy is the shit, dude. It's fucking awesome.
Okay.
But yeah.
Well, I'm going to end it here. That was a hell of an episode, guys. So, we're going to see you. I'm going to see you next week. So, where can they find you at?
And ain't perspective a motherfucker. Good night, everybody. Fucking. I wanted it to hit the lens. Pick it up! Help! You guys can catch me on Instagram mainly. MikeyB on the beat. And then I have a TikTok. I basically just post the same shit I post on Instagram. Follow me anyways. I don't know. Maybe that'll give me clout with the Chinese Communist Party once they take over. Thanks for having me on, dog. I appreciate you a lot.
All right, you as well, brother.
Yes, sir.
All right, and we're out of here. Peace!